Write a number model to show what you did. Then solve using US traditional subtraction. Compare your answer with your estimate to see whether your answer makes sense. Let's start with number 1. This assignment is on Cami, so for my estimate, I'm going to use my text box tool. Select the T from my tools. I'm going to leave it at the font size 96. This is a size that you can see. If it's smaller, select it, and then you can change it to 96. Choose your color. I'm going to choose purple for my estimate. Now I'm ready. Click where you would like to type. Left click. And I am going to round to the nearest tens because that is my highest place value. 85 rounded to the nearest 10 equals, well, if I'm looking at my 10, I need to know if this 8 will stay the same, if I'm going to let it rest, or raise the score by looking at my neighbor. Okay, number 5, the digit 5, 5 or more. 5 or more, raise the score. So my estimate for 85 equals 90. 90 minus, because I'm paying attention to my signs, 90 minus the estimate of 38. For 38, I'm going to leave my 3, let it rest, or will I raise the score? Let's look at the number next to it. It's 8 higher than 5, so I am going to round that to 40. I'm raising the score. 90 minus 40 equals 50. 90 minus 40 equals 50. If it's confusing to look at your numbers horizontally or in a line like this, you can stack them on top of each other. What I mean by that, if I open another text box, 90 on top minus 40, sometimes it's easier to see if your numbers are vertical, if they're right on top of each other. So for this, my drawing tool, my subtraction symbol, 0 minus 0 equals 0. 9 minus 4 equals 5. As you can see, the answer is the same. I just lined my columns up this time. Now that we have our estimate, let's go ahead and solve this problem. I'm going to erase this so I don't get confused. I am going to use my drawing tool. If you are not comfortable with using your drawing tool, I want you to at least try. And then go to text boxes if you're not comfortable, if you can't quite get it to work. So I'm going to click on the drawing tool, choose my color. I'm going to choose pink. Where you want to draw is where you will click. So I want to draw a line that separates my 1s and my 10s. So I am going to left click. With my left hand, I'm going to click the bottom of my mouse, my little box on my Chromebook. I know you can't see this, but with my right hand, my right finger, I'm drawing my line straight down. As soon as you move your right finger, as long as you're clicking down, don't let go of your left hand. So do not let go of your left hand, and you can draw with your right finger. Back to our math. 5 minus 8. If I have 5 circles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't take 8 away. I don't have enough. So I need to get that value from somewhere. I'm going to regroup from my tens column. So I'm going to take a set of 10s. Instead of 8, now I have 7. Where am I going to put those 10s? With my ones column. So now I have 15. I got 10 ones from my tens column. That's how I have 15. 15 minus 8 equals 15 minus 8. Yes, 7. 7 minus 3 equals, yes, 4. So is my answer close to my estimate? Does it make sense? Yes, it does. I can move on because this answer makes sense. For number 2, 613 minus 249. The first thing I'm going to do is make an estimate. I'm going to round my number to the nearest hundreds place value because 100 is my highest spot. If you don't remember your place values, guys, make yourself a note. Hundreds, you can put it anywhere on your paper. Tens, ones, you can make a little note. If you have to draw a place value chart, maybe you even want to add the thousands. You can remind yourself. This is just my quick place value chart. So I can look up here. I know that I'm always going to start with my ones. I'm always going to start with my ones. If you want to label this column ones, you can even do that. But just know you're always going to start right here with the ones. I don't want to confuse you, so I'm going to erase them. Let's make an estimate before we solve this problem. 613 minus 249 equals about how much? Well, 613, I'm rounding to my nearest 100. I'm rounding to my nearest 100. So let me look at my neighbor. 1, it's less than 4. So 613 to the nearest 100 is 600. I'm going to let this 6 rest. It's going to rest. It's going to stay the same because the neighbor right next to it is less than 4. I'm going to use my text box and type my estimate down here so I don't forget. 600 minus, now I'm going to estimate 249 to the nearest hundreds place value. Am I going to let this 2 rest or raise the score? Yes, I'm going to let it rest because my neighbor is 4 or less on my number line. So 249 equals 200. And 600 minus 200 equals 600 minus 200. Yes, 400. I'm going to move my box just a little. I left clicked and I drag it with my right hand. Now let's solve this problem. 3 minus 9. Well, I have the same problem. I don't have enough ones to take 9 away. I only have 3. 1, 2, 3 ones. Not enough. So I am going to regroup 10 of my ones from my tens column. I'm taking all the tens. If I have 1 10 rod, I'm taking it away. I have 0. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I'm just drawing them randomly, 9, 10. So now I have 13 ones. Now I have 13 ones. I'm using my drawing tool. 13 minus 9 equals, yes, 4. 0 minus 4. If I don't have anything, I can't take 4 away. This time, I am going to borrow. This time, I'm going to borrow 100. When I borrow 100, 100. When I borrow 100, crossing out my 6, I'm taking one of the hundreds to my tens column. So now I have 5 instead of 6. Well, where am I putting that 100, those 10 rods of 10? Taking it to my tens column. 10 minus 4 equals 6. 5 minus 2 equals 3. 364. Is that close to 400? Yes, it absolutely is close to 400. Let's look at number 3. Making my estimate real quick. I'm rounding to my nearest 100 place value. I'm rounding to my nearest 100. Going to my text tool. 506 rounded up. 500 because my neighbor is 0. Minus 187 to my nearest 100 is how much? Yes, 200. So 500 minus 200 equals 300. Now I'm ready to solve. I can start with my text tool, 506 minus 187. Now I'm going to draw my minus sign and equal sign. You can always pause, ladies and gentlemen, to give yourself time to draw. You can pause this video. 6 minus 7. Well, I don't have enough ones to take away 7. I only have 6. And remember, we're always starting with our ones place value. Always start in your ones place value. Here we go. So 6 minus 7. I don't have enough. I need to borrow from my tens. Wait a minute. I don't have any tens. So I need to borrow from my hundreds only because I don't have any tens. So I need to get something to my tens to regroup. I'm not borrowing because they're not getting it back. I'm regrouping here. So instead of 500s, I have 4. And I'm taking the 100. There we go. Now I have 10. So when I look back at my ones column, do I have something to regroup from? Yes, I do. So our 10 becomes 9. Just look at the pink. I know this number here is in the way. And I have 16. I got 10 ones from my tens column. But to get something in my tens column, I had to take away from my hundreds column. I had to regroup. So I'm just moving some things around. 16 minus 7 equals, yes, 9. 9 minus 8 equals, yes, 1. 4 minus 1 equals 3. 4 minus 1 equals 3. So is my 319 close to my estimate? Yes, it absolutely is. My answer makes sense. Ladies and gentlemen, as you solve numbers 4, 5, and 6, I want to see you regrouping. I want to see you crossing out the digits and then regrouping. Cross out and regroup. Your paper should look like mine. Don't just put the answer. I know you can find an answer in Google. I know you can use a calculator. So I want to see you solve this equation, solve these problems on your Cami. If you cannot use the drawing tool, write them on a sheet of paper. If you cannot use the drawing tool, you can write these problems and how you solve them on a sheet of paper. Then you will save that, and we'll talk about how to save it. But for now, I want you to solve these on Cami or your paper.